Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up your Facebook ad campaigns correctly. I asked several Facebook communities, what is it you want advice on? And someone has come back to say the actual setting up of the ads, oh my god, they are so complicated. So what we're going to do is run through different campaign types, why you use some and why you use others. And mainly there are two main ones that you'll be using depending on if you're lead gen or e-commerce. So we're just going to be using a sandbox campaign. I'll go through the different types of campaigns that you can run and then which ones that you should be selecting. First, you're going to come up to the top left here and click create, and that's going to give you your different campaign objectives. Here you're going to find that you have awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales. Now, awareness is going to be getting your ad in front of the most people. So this is going to be your cheapest campaign. Facebook is going to put you in front of people that look at the ad. Next, we've got traffic, and traffic is where you're going to use Facebook to direct people to your website. I suggest not using this for e-commerce. The reason being, it generally does create a lower quality type of traffic. There's no particular sales objective that traffic is trying to achieve other than getting people to your website. What you will find if you look at your Google Analytics is that most of these people will jump off of the site fairly quickly. Generally, I only really be using this if we're going to be using like a WhatsApp campaign or running to create awareness of an event. I'm going to have to apologize, as whilst I was recording this video, that camera ran out of memory and storage, so I couldn't use it and actually lost some of the footage. But it's okay, you'll know when it comes back because you'll get to see my lovely face again, but do bear with me whilst you're watching the screen. Engagement is going to do exactly what it says in the tin. It is going to try and find people that generally will be engaging with ads. Personally, use this if you're trying to increase the engagement on a particular post or advertisement, but generally it is going to be, again, a lower quality of traffic, and even the engagements themselves, they're not actually going to be many likes, not many comments. It's mainly going to be people that might click on the ad. Personally, I wouldn't recommend this particular campaign. Next, we're going to have leads. Leads is going to be if you are looking to find contact information such as someone's name, phone number, or email. Leads, you're going to have two options. You can have either an instant form where the form is going to pop up on Facebook, allow somebody to fill in the questions that you have proposed. Generally, it's going to be name, email, and some form of contact information. What I would suggest, if you are going to use a lead form, to make sure that you put in qualifying questions. The reason being that if you don't do this, sometimes you're going to have a load of leads, but with really low quality. To even further avoid this, you can create a landing page and use the lead conversion. So sending the Facebook traffic from Facebook over to your landing page. When somebody fills out the details, what you want to do is have the lead event triggered when someone presses the submit button. By doing so, that is going to trigger a lead and a successful submission of details. From experience, this is generally the better way to get higher quality leads because there are more steps within the process and it creates a little bit of friction. The next one is going to be app promotions, and what you have to do with this one is make sure if you're looking to get app downloads for a particular app that you fall in line with Facebook SDK requirements. If you're not sure what that means, go have a little look into it. I'm sure if you're on this channel, you're probably not even looking at app downloads, but if you are, you can pop me any kind of messages and I'll answer them for you. And finally, we have sales. Sales is going to be the majority of you watching these videos. They are going to be if you're looking to get conversions or sales, mainly in e-commerce. This is pretty much the only one that I would recommend, and then leading to a purchase event. The more people are showing your ads, the more likely Facebook is to find more people that take that action. In the case of sales or purchases, it is the same thing. Facebook will try and find you people that are actually going to take the purchasing action. So as this is mainly a dropshipping and e-commerce channel, I am going to be focusing on sales for this one. So we'll run through how to set up a sales campaign step by step. And if you do have any extra questions outside of that, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll go through them and get them answered for you. So we want to click on the sales campaign and we want to press continue. We then want to go to manual sales campaign. There is an argument that you can use Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. These do make it a lot simpler to actually set up ads, but generally we stick with a manual sales campaign for the time being, as that's the one we're finding best results with at the current time. Manual sales campaign, click continue. And here we are. We're going to set this up. We'll go through it step by step. So first it's going to be campaigns, the ad sets, and then the ad. So first of all, with the campaigns, we're going to make this our testing campaign. Generally, you always want to start with a testing campaign because here you are going to first be testing your creatives. When I say creatives, I mean the video and image that you're presenting to the audience. You only need to do special categories if you're going to be running any of these four type of objectives. That's credit, employment, housing, or politics. The reason being, if you select this, it will remove all of the targeting, and the reason being is Facebook doesn't want to discriminate for these types of people. So for example, if you were running real estate leads, then you would be choosing housing, and that means that you can't select people that are generally 30 and above to run housing ads to. In my opinion, housing is going to be 30 plus or maybe even 25 plus, but Facebook doesn't allow us to discriminate, so we must go for the 18 to 65 plus. Generally, Facebook does a great job anyway of trying to find those people, so just make sure you select this, otherwise your ad will get rejected. But anyway, as we're in e-commerce, let's focus on that. So the buying type is going to remain as an auction, as Facebook is an auction bidding platform. We are bidding to get in front of our ideal customers. Next, we're going to keep this as sales objective. We're not going to turn the catalog on, and then we're not going to turn A/B test on. A/B testing is where you put one creative against the other, and you can do this with a separate ad set, and you just test to see which creative is going to be the winner. We generally do this anyway when we're putting the ads against each other in the same ad set, as Facebook is going to favor and put spend behind the one that is the winning one. When I say winning one, it generally means the best estimated action rate, or EAR. That is how likely someone is to take action based off the back of our advertisement. Finally is advantage campaign plus budget optimization. What we're going to do with a testing campaign is generally keep it in ABO, which is ad set budget optimization. This is where we control the budget at the ad set level. Now, an absolute disclaimer, at the time of recording this video, we generally like to use ABO for our own stores and our client stores, just so we can specifically test certain different types of creative. So we're going to go to the ad set level, and this is where we do our specific targeting. I like to remember this as who, what, and where, the 3 W's. So who are we targeting, what are we targeting, and where are we targeting? Who are we targeting? Are they going to be male or female? What are we targeting? What interests are they interested in? What age are they? Where, what location are they in? This can be the country or specific geolocation in a specific radius. What I would suggest, if you are doing e-commerce, it's probably better to go for the whole country than a specific area of the country. If you're doing local lead gen, it's probably best to go for a smaller area that's going to be broad targeting. The reason I'd say broad targeting over interest targeting, it depends completely on the niche. I appreciate that, but if it's something like a dentist, a cosmetic clinic, something like that, it's most likely that somebody of that certain age will be interested in that type of thing. But on top of that, Facebook does a really good job of actually learning your customer through its AI learning abilities. That's not to say interest targeting is completely dead. People still use it, we still use it, and it still works. Generally, in our testing phase, we'd name the ad set probably depending on the testing number. So it'd be 01, it'd probably be the date, which is going to be the 5th of October 2023. And then we're going to target the United States with this one. And then let's just say that we are going to be using a mini massager Pro here. And the reason this is set up, it's generally going to be whatever test number it is, the date that you've launched that test number, the location you've set it to, and then the product that you're offering. Reason being, it just makes it a lot easier to keep track, especially if you're running an e-commerce dropshipping store. You may be running multiple things in one place, so better just keep an eye on it. If you're running e-commerce for a client or yourself, then it's also good to know what test number you're on and what date you launched it. On the conversion location, you want to be saying website, as that's where we're driving the traffic to. With the performance goal, you're going to maximize the number of conversions. With the pixel, choose the one that you have created. Make sure you do a full test of your events, making sure that the purchase does fire. And then we have conversion event here. We are going to click it, and then we're going to go and choose purchase. If you do for any reason get a warning that says you've set up for purchase and you haven't received any in the last few days, that's absolutely fine. If it's a fresh account, a fresh pixel, you wouldn't have had any data, so that's okay. Don't worry about cost per result goal, because we don't know that at this time. Dynamic creative test. If you have watched my other video on our 7-figure dynamic creative test strategy, more than welcome to use a dynamic creative test for your testing. You are more than welcome to put several ads into one ad set, and then Facebook is going to decide which one's the best one for you anyway. We're then going to set our daily budget. Most likely, for example, we would set this one to 100. If you do get this warning here about spending limit, usually everything is set to $50 when you first create an ad account or if you haven't used it very much. That's okay, this happens. You have to build trust with the Facebook platform. When you've spent and then you pay off the payment, within roughly a few weeks or potentially a month or two, as long as you ask consistently to the Facebook support to raise that limit, it will eventually get lifted and you'll be able to spend more. Most ad accounts have what's called a DSL, or daily spend limit. The reason being, it's so Facebook protects themselves so you don't go spending a load of money and then aren't able to pay it back. If you want to know what your DSL is, you don't know on the front end, but you can ask a Meta support agent and they'll be able to tell you. In theory, they should be able to tell you. They've always been able to tell us, but they've already said to me that this is not something that we have access to on the front end. On the start date, you probably want to be choosing the next day and then setting it to midnight, so 0000, and then this is where we choose our audience. There's always an argument between Facebook experts saying that, do you use broad, do you use interest? Now, I'm a big broad advocator, reason being Facebook is an AI learning platform that finds you your audience, but also I have seen interest work quite nicely on different brands. At the time of filming, my personal opinion on this is that you can test a product or offer very quickly using an interest, but then you want to test scalability on broad. we are testing creative with a seasoned account, we generally will stick with a broad audience. The reason being that it's putting your ad to a wider audience, and then you can see if the ad has actually interacted well with the general population. If this is the case, it performs well, then it's most likely when you move it into an interest targeting, which is also known as horizontal scaling, if it's working, then you'll also be able to see results from that. So on this particular example, we won't be using any custom audiences. We'll choose the location. Here we've got United Kingdom. Just for the sake of the example, we're going to change it to the United States. When it comes to age, if the product definitely has a specific age group that is going to be targeted at, use that age group. If you keep it open, there is the chance that it's going to be sending it to people that are 18, and if the product's suitable for somebody in their 50s, maybe 18 isn't going to be your target market. Facebook will generally try and find you the customer that is able to click through, but at the same time, if it's unnecessary, there's not always a reason there to use it. So for this one, if I was testing the product's validity, I would probably be looking at something to do with health. This is going to be the Mini Massager Pro. So let's just type in health there, and then have a look. Employers, we'll go for interest. And then if I was testing other individual interests, I might look at what the suggested ones are through Facebook. But health here does have quite a good size of audience, like 5.8 to 6.8 million, and that's with all genders. After I'm happy with that, I'll then scroll down, look at advantage placements. I'll leave that on. Advantage placements, you're allowing Facebook to choose where it thinks it's going to find the right audience for you. What you're going to find if you do start to limit the placements that Facebook wants to put the ad, it is going to start costing you a little bit more, and your CPMs will most likely increase as well. By giving Facebook the reins of where to put your ad, you're going to be reducing your costs overall, as Facebook is going to try and find the places it can put it to be in front of the right people. We're then going to go over to the ad and we're going to name it Ad 1. I'm going to use my personal Facebook page for this one. And then I'm going to manually upload. So you have the option here to use create ad, existing post, or Creative Hub mockup. Generally, we're going to be using a create ad. We'll go to manual upload and we're going to change this to a single image or video. And then we're going to come down here and add our video. Generally, what we find is videos do better than images, but also at the same time, if you've got a really good offer and an okay image, these can still perform well. So I'd click add the video in this case. I'm going to choose this particular one. So here I'm going to choose add media. I'm going to go down to add video. And then I'm going to choose this particular creative that we've used. This is going to be in the full length 9 to 16. And then we're going to go next. Now here it's going to give you options for optimization. Generally, I don't put optimizations on, and the reason being is I've had some bad experiences with it in the past where it hasn't really worked out for me. But the best thing to find out if it's going to work for you is always test these different things. I then click next and done. You can then click over here and see what your ad will look like in the different placements. In this particular one, I wouldn't worry too much personally, because if someone gets hit by this and they click on the ad, it's then going to open full screen for them on their actual phone, for example, if they're coming from that device. You can see for this particular example, I've got no optimizations, and that personally for me is absolutely okay. I'm happy with that. I don't want to use optimizations. So in the primary text, I'm just going to whack something together. So with your primary text, this is the copy that goes with the ad. I generally have a good hook here, some explanations of the benefit, and then our call to action. So with the Mini Massager Pro, it's this little electrical device that sends electrical pulses, and it's basically there to help muscle twitching or muscle spasms or to relax the muscles. I'm just going to create some random copy on the fly, and then we'll go through it together afterwards. What I've done is pulled together some really easy, simple copy. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit more time on your hands to go through and make sure it's a little bit better and look at your competitors to see what's working for them. But here I've said, do you struggle with muscle pain? The Mini Massager Pro is the latest in soothing muscle aches and pains with our new regenerative systems and stimulus. It helps with joint pain, muscle pain, shoulder pain. For a limited time only, get 50% off and free shipping when you buy today. And then the headline, get 50% off and free shipping, Mini Massager Pro. You then want to choose your call to action. Generally for e-commerce, I'd stick with something like shop now. After your call to action, you're going to go down to the website URL and put in your correct URL. For this purpose of the example, I'm going to put minimassagerpro.com/product-page. After you've done this, make sure you click preview URL. The reason being is you do not want to be paying to send people to your URL that does not work. It will be a lot of wasted money that you'd wish you checked first. After we've done our URL, you can then go down and add any UTMs that you like and any tracking if you need it. Some people use HiROS, some people use Triple Whale, some people just use Google Analytics, or some people use none at all. Then after you've done that, you can then duplicate your ad and then put as many ads that you have for the creative that you do have. So in this instance, by duplicating it, we'll then be able to keep all of the different copies and headlines that we've created. This one, I'd then just change this from ad 1, we'd call it ad 2, and we'd go down and we'd remove that media, and then we'd add the other videos. So let's just say we'd use this one. Same process, going through, clicking next. I just make sure creative optimization is off, and then we do the same one here. We go to add, change that to a 3, and then we'll go down, remove that, add the media, add the video, and then just add the third one. Done. So that is all of our ads ready to go and ready to be published. What I would suggest here is go through everything, double check it and make sure you're 100% happy. That's the creative, the copy, the headline, the tracking if you're going to use it, the URL, the call to action. Just go through, have a final check and make sure you're good to go. When you're ready, you can then click out of this with the X, go up to review and publish, and that will show you the whole list of ads that you're ready to go with. You can click publish, and then off it goes. So that is a very simple way to set up your ad campaigns. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as every little helps. And until next time, hope you have a great one. Much love.